Alrighty, so we're moving right along here. The situation now is Poppies is up for play, and you have the situation here where the cartels are first eligible both on Poppies and on the upcoming card, the Chess Player. So let's look at this a second. Poppies allows the acting player, it says here, place or remove one shipment or insurgent base in any mountain department. So you can place or remove a shipment or insurgent base in any mountain department. That would allow the cartel to put a base in 3 of the 4 mountain departments, or they could put a shipment, but a shipment wouldn't really help them there. The alternate would be the Chess Player. Here's what that one does. Place 3 available cartel bases, 1 per city. That might be a substantially better play because guess what? The cartels are in 3 different cities that don't have bases but do have guerrillas. I think that's a better play for the cartels. So I would say the cartels would wait here because, I mean, Poppies is a good event, but I think Chess Player is better. And so I think that'll make the Farc happy because this will be something that Farc likes here. So now the Farc has the opportunity. Now does Farc want a base in these areas or does it want a shipment in these areas? It says place or remove. So let's go do these one at a time. And I'm going to use the action pawns here. By the way, the game comes with 6 white and 6 black pawns. And they're used only to mark where you're doing stuff as a convenience. The number of pawns is not a limitation on your decision making in the game, but it is a way to mark where you're doing stuff. And it serves as a nice mnemonic device. So let's say, I think this event is very useful here. I mean, yeah, they could terrorize in, I don't know. What do you think, guys? Farc has these opportunities. So they could, first of all, take the event in these 4 areas. Or they could terrorize all over the place, sabotaging numerous locks, and also damaging the situation in Bogota. On the other hand, by playing the event, they could get a base, which is a victory point. I mean, for Farc now. They get a base in Huila, a shipment in Santander, although that's risky because the shipment could likely pass to the AUC. So I would probably pass on that. And they could also remove an AUC base from Antioquia and put a base in Cesar. Yeah, I'm thinking the event's not maybe as useful as it first seems. So let's go ahead and do a massive terror operation. And we've already explained in earlier videos that when you're terrorizing with the Farc, or with anybody for that matter, it costs you 1 resource per city or department where you're terrorizing. And you can terrorize on locks for free. So we're going to terrorize all over the place just to be, well, this is what Farc does. I mean, just make a royal nuisance of yourself to the government. So we're going to terrorize there. I mean, pretty much everywhere there's a lock. I'm saying, because they got special forces, they're going to remove some of those sabotage markers. So I'm saying terrorize as much as you can when you can. And let's hit Santander as well, because that's also going to degrade support and place a terror marker. Plus we can, no, we can't kidnap there, but we can kidnap in Bogota. Let's see, is there anywhere else we want to do this? Yeah, you're right. Let's go ahead and do that in Arauca and in Guaviare. And might as well tax the cartels while we're at it, unless we want to really hit the government with finances. That might actually be a better play, do our kidnapping against the government. Okay, so we're terrorizing all over the place. Guaviare, Arauca, Santander, and Bogota, those 4 areas are departments or cities, and those will cost resources. So that's 2, 3, 4. By the way, let's imagine for a second that Farc had 0 resources. Or had, let's say they had 0 resources. What they could do is they could mark all these areas, okay? And let's say they terrorize first and kidnap on a lock. That kidnapping is going to transfer resources from 1 to 6 resources to Farc, which would then allow them to subsequently pay for the other departments or cities where they're undergoing operations. Remember, you can do special actions before, after, or during your operation. So those special actions are huge. In this case, it's not going to matter, so I just went ahead and paid for them right now. Let's go ahead and do the locks first. Those are going to place sabotage markers, so let me just get some of these out so I can clone them. We're going to do one there, and again, the cells go at, or the gorillas go active. And once they go active, you can no longer do terror operations with them anymore. But since the government has recovered its situation in Bogota, we're going to patrol pretty soon anyways. So I think this is a good play for Farc. Incidentally, for a 4-player game, imagining for a moment that we had no solitaire game in the box, this game is actually a lot of fun to kick around solitaire, just playing the 4-player game rules, just because of the story that it manufactures as you play it. I don't know if any of our play testers have tinkered around with that, but that's one of the things I look at when I'm developing something. Is this thing any fun to play just by yourself, just to see the story that it develops? Another game like that is Combat Commander. It's actually a lot of fun to play solitaire just for the story. Okay, I think that's about all the locks. So we sabotage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locks. 3 of those are going to come off, but that's still going to put a little dent in the government's ability to collect resources. The big whammy is up in let's see, Santander drop down, and then Bogota is going to go neutral, and it gets a second terror marker. Make sure I only got 2 in there. Of course, now all the cells are active, so they're probably going to die pretty soon. Alrighty, then Guaviare. Might be wondering, well, why bother placing the terror marker? Well, there's actually a fixed limit in the game. There's only 30 terror markers in the game. So there is a limitation on terror markers. So if the Farc terrorizes itself, as it were, to increase opposition in its domain, that could actually hurt them a little bit later on, because maybe they don't have enough terror markers to place later on before a propaganda card clears them all off. All right, so that changes the situation. Whoops, I forgot to activate someone in Guaviare. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's adjust the situation. We have an 18 opposition plus the number of Farc bases, 5, so it's going to be up to 23. Okay, now we're going to kidnap. Now that all the terror is done, we're going to kidnap in Bogota. In order to kidnap against the government, it has to be a city or a lock where you engaged in terror during this operation. So we're going to hit Bogota, and 2 of the locks will kidnap on. So in each of those spaces, what we're going to have to do is roll a die. Oh crap, we can't in Bogota. It's too many police there. Yeah, you have to have more guerrillas than police there. So that's another thing to be said about having police on your locks and in your cities. So it's going to have to be the locks. That one, and that one there. We'll say that. Ooh, you know what? We forgot one. Let's hit one more. I always forget about that road out of Bogota. I always somehow miss that. Let's hit that one. It's free. So we'll sabotage that one too. So we'll hit 3 of the locks. We got 4 locks that we were on. Yeah, the road to nowhere. Okay, we're going to sabotage on each, or kidnap on each of these. So each of these, we're going to roll a die, and we're going to transfer that many resources from the government to Farc. If we roll a 6, however, it will place a AUC guerrilla in that area. So let's go ahead and we'll do this area, and this area. Let's do those 3. So starting in the north and working south. 5 for the one in the north, and the one just below it, 1. So that's 6 and 4. So 10 resources in total are transferred from the government. So the government goes from 41 to 31. That's a pretty heavy blow. And the Farc goes from 9 up to 19. Ouch. So that is that's another way to hit back the government, because now, granted, you didn't kill any government pieces per se, but you've severely limited what the government can do. 10 resources is effectively 3 operations from the government that are no longer payable. So that terminates that card play, and only one player acted on that, so that ends the card play. Cartels are up for the chess player, and Farc is swimming in cash. Chess player comes up, and Cartels are definitely going to play this for the event. It's going to place a base in 3 cities. We're playing the shaded portion. Place 3 available Cartel bases, 1 per city. So we're going to take 3 of these. Just pull them off the bottom here. And for those of you that played with previous editions, the Vassal module, I used to have all these in one stack, but I've spread them out here just to show how it would work in the physical game. So we'll do Bogota, we'll do that one down the city in the south, Pasto, and I'll do one up in Sincelejo. Yeah, Sincelejo. And each of those is covered by guerrillas, so that's a very good position for the Cartels to be in. So they've gone from 3 bases at the start of this propaganda round, now they have 8. So they're slowly clawing their way back into becoming a threat to the other players. Now the question becomes, who's eligible next on this card is the government. What do they want to do? They want to take actions in a special activity, or do they want to consider high mountain battalions? Let's consider what high mountain battalions does to you or against you. To you, here's what it does. If the government places this as an event, assault treats mountains as a city. That has 2 effects. Number 1 is when you assault in a city, you kill pieces on a 1-for-1 basis. So they would make killing enemy pieces in mountain much easier. But also in a city, your police function in an assault. So police and troops will kill in a mountain area. That makes your killing ability in mountains very valuable, and the mountains are the most valuable departments in the game. On the other hand, if it's played against the government, assault in a mountain removes only 1 piece for 4 troops. That means you have to have 4 troops to kill 1 piece. That's bad. That can really that pretty much means the government can't do a whole lot to the enemy in the mountains. So definitely don't want that played against them. So that makes the government consider now, if the government acts now, then it's very likely Farc will play this card against them. Someone could play that card against them, and the government maybe doesn't want to chance that. So it might not be a bad, since they're first off in the next card, it might not be a bad idea just to pass here, collect 3 resources, and then go first on the next card and do an op only, thereby squashing the event.